John was incarcerated in 1984 for the murder of a hotel executive down in New Orleans. He had a court-appointed attorney that he felt did not do adequate work in representing him. He was tried on 2 charges, one for an armed robbery, the other was for the first-degree murder. John was then found guilty, sentenced to death. So John sat on death row for a long time, and there were some attorneys in Philadelphia from a prestigious law firm who decided to do some pro bono work. They were introduced to the world of Louisiana and Louisiana law and the Louisiana criminal justice system. They were being rejected one way to the other with all types of motions, trying to find a way to get it back into the courts, and they couldn't. Then something incredible happened. A private investigator was able to submit some information to them to prove that John may actually be innocent. That led to John being retried. In 30 minutes, they came back not guilty. So John was released, and he decided to sue the district attorney's office of Orleans Parish. In the lower courts, first decision, the jury voted unanimously for him, and he won $14 million. That's sort of like $1 million for each year he did in prison. So John's case was appealed by the district attorney's office, of course. He won on the appeal, and he won on the 3rd appeal. Then the case went up to the United States Supreme Court. And unfortunately, in a 5-4 decision, the decision was reversed. Imbler versus Patchman, 1976. In that case, the Supreme Court decided that prosecutors enjoy full immunity from civil liability. And that's unfortunate, because what you're saying essentially is that they have protection. No matter how egregious the conduct, no matter what they've done, as long as they performed in their roles as courts of the law, then they have that protection. Let's undo Imbler versus Patchman. That's too much protection for prosecutors. And you hold these men accountable for the work that they do, and your district attorney has to take a more active role in ensuring the integrity of his office. For many of the ex-offenders in our country who return home, sometimes there's some type of social network to reintegrate them into society. John was referred to as an exoneree, and there were no services for them whatsoever. He felt he needed to do more because he was wrongfully incarcerated all of that time. So he started his own program, Resurrection After Exoneration, to help others like him. We need to hold these people responsible.